Hey guys, welcome back. It's your host Jamie.
And Jamie, and we're so excited for another episode. Today is actually super special but kind of sad because it is our last episode of the season before we take a few months off. We kind of have a busy summer coming up, so we're going to just focus on getting through that. Mainly, I feel like it's mainly busy for you.
Well, I don't know what my life is literally going to look like a month from now because I'm like graduating and then I'm trying to find a job, trying to figure that out, and I just don't know, possibly move like
okay, well, you're also going to Hawaii and you're also turning 21.
Vacations. Forgot about that. That's so far.
It's about to be like the best summer of your life, I feel like.
I hope so. I feel it. It does feel good, but yeah, we just kind of need some time to like get life in order. And we've kind of talked about it before. We feel like once we started doing this, like I feel like just things have been coming up.
No, yeah.
It almost feels intentional, and it just feels like
and like life is only getting like more chaotic. So I think like taking a little break will be really good for both of us.
Even though we've really loved it, it's kind of sad.
No, it's been fun, but it'll be weird that you're not gonna like be here every Thursday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
what am I gonna do with my time?
Maybe you'll miss me so much and you'll just come hang out. So.
Oh, well, probably. I was doing that before, so.
Exactly. Well, how was your past week?
Oh, it's been good. I don't know. I have felt a little weird. I feel like we're starting to read. So in Bible study, we're reading Exodus right now. We're reading it chronologically. So we read Genesis, Job, and then now we're on Exodus. And to be honest, it's been like hard for me to get through. Like I have kind of been struggling, and I know it's funny because in like other episodes I was like, no, I don't have doubts, and it's like I've been feeling doubts lately, and that's like a scary thought as someone who's like so strong in my faith, and I still am, and I'm like so determined to persevere through it and like just keep chasing God even if I don't feel him in my life or like in certain ways. I think I just right now got a like reminder in my brain to just look for that in other ways, because I think for one thing specifically is like when I've been praying, I feel like no one's listening. And it's weird because before I would pray and I'd feel so connected to God, and so I kind of have never had that feeling of like praying to no one, or like it felt like he wasn't listening. And it has the past few like days, I'd say. And that's just hard. I've been like scared of that, to be honest. So it's kind of given me some fear, but just trying to get through it. And I feel like I'm starting to come out of it because I'm starting to get like I said, doubts lead to questions lead to answers, and I'm starting to get those answers. It's just taking time. And I kind of always thought like, oh, okay, I'm questioning this, so let me find the answer. And it kind of doesn't work like that. Like it's just been, I feel like every time, we were talking about this right before this episode, but every time we film something, it's like we get put through exactly what we were talking about in the podcast, like the next week. I swear, it's like so weird.
Been crazy.
But yeah, it's been crazy. Besides that though, it's been good. I've been just applying for like a million jobs and waiting to hear back. Getting ready for graduation. I think I want to like go to a trampoline park as like my graduation party.
I've had 2 kids. I will pee everywhere, just so you know.
You can watch.
This bladder is not very strong.
It's okay. Maybe I'll just go by myself.
See, there's like normal ASU 21-year-olds, and then there's like Jamie 21-year-old.
I literally just want to go to the trampoline park.
Like that's so fun.
It's so fun. And like I imagined if like me and like all my friends who are graduating, we show up in our gowns, like that would be so funny. But I want to do it before graduation, and I don't want like someone to rip their gown or something, gosh. But I would love to do that. So maybe after we graduate, we'll go back.
Well, also we have Girls Gone Bible coming up in May, and then we also are going to the Brandon Lake concert in July. So that's pretty exciting.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. I really think that this is going to be just like such a good, memorable summer. Yeah. And like I'm already planning Macy's birthday, and it's not until September 1st, but I'm still like so
it's
exciting,
and it's such a big like one is crazy.
Well, and it's a summer birthday. Like Kaysen was always February, so it's cooler, and I never could like do a pool party or anything. So now I'm like, ooh, this is so fun.
Oh, it's so fun because I'm excited. But
yeah, it'll be fun.
How's your week been besides that?
It's been pretty good. I feel like I kind of talked last week about how I feel like I'm finally coming out of the brain fog that I was in. I just feel a lot lighter, and not I mean, so this audiobook is not religious at all, but I've been listening to the Let Them audiobook. What's her name? I can't think. Mel
Robbins.
Something. Mel Robbins. Yeah. I just had a total brain fart.
No, you're good.
So I've been listening to her audiobook, and it's so good. It's so freaking good, and it's like everything that I need to hear.
Yeah.
Just let them. Like, she says that so many. If you took a shot every time she said let them, oh my gosh, you'd be dead. Like,
you'd be gone
5 minutes in, because she literally says it so much, but it's just so good. And
it's an audiobook, or you're listening to it?
Yeah, like you can
Okay.
read it or you can listen to it, but I feel like I'm just so busy that it's easy to have something on.
Yeah. I like that.
But aside from like that, I've just been able to, like, you know, prioritize my life a little better and like
just navigate it easier.
Yeah, and just like a big thing was I was just rushing, and I feel like I've slowed down a lot, and I've just been trying to like appreciate every single day and every single moment, because like it's April.
Yeah.
What, 3rd? That is crazy.
I feel
We've
like
been recording, I think, since like January 31st or something.
Something
like that is crazy how like fast time flies, and I'm just like, I'm not ready to like be old and just look back and like think of everything I missed out on because I was just rushing, or I was like unhappy or whatever. Like I'm just so done with it. So
yeah, but I see that in you too. Like I think before you were like, I am so tired and exhausted all the time, but like trying to make everyone happy, trying to do like everything.
Yeah.
And I think I'm starting to see like you're actually like, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna like put my foot down and be like, okay, I just need to like not do this or do this. And it's like, I've just seen you obviously come out of that, which is so nice to see that you're like kind of finding your peace again. And
I know, yeah. And I think that it has been helping. Like Macy has been sleeping a little better at night, so I'm not like as sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And I've been working out, so my body feels a little better. Like I just don't feel so like lazy and exhausted. Well, I'm exhausted, but in like a different way, you know what I mean?
Well, you have like a better work-life balance, family, like
I think
your
I'm
balance
like figuring it out, and I don't want to say that and then like next week it's gonna be complete crap, because every time
we're like everything's actually horrible.
Every time we put something out in the world, it's like life's like haha, like let me just flip it on you. But
yikes.
no, it's been
it'll be good. It'll be good. Hey, you said that last week that you were coming out of it, and you're still here, so
here we are. I'm 2 for 2. Well, today we really wanted to talk about just forgiveness and moving on and healing, all in God's way.
Yeah, I feel like we've mostly talked about a lot of like how, you know, the world is painful and like hurt that we feel all the time, and so I feel like we just kind of want to end it on like a nice happy positive note.
And I really feel like, so when I was going to church consistently, I think maybe a year ago, there was a service about forgiveness, and it was so good. Like it was the first time that I ever had left like completely sobbing. Really? And it was just like a message I really needed to hear, because I kind of talked about this, but we'll like touch back on it. Just, you know, my life with my biological mother was not very good, and there was just a lot that I had to heal from what she exposed me to, and you know what I had gone through as a child. And so when I sat in that message, it just resonated with me, because I was like, I'm holding on to this and it's still like super painful, but like, why am I holding on to it? Like, it doesn't need to have the effect that it still has in my life. Like, I was 27 at the time. Like, I should be, you know, healed from this, or at least on the path of healing from it. So I was like, okay, I need to start being proactive about like what forgiveness and this healing journey actually looks like. So I left the sermon that day, and I was just like, okay, we're done. And I actually reached out to her, and I hadn't talked to her in like 15 years. And I let her know like, hey, I forgive you. Yeah. And, you know, a few things that stuck out to me from that sermon was just like, that's my biological mom's, it was her first time living too, you know, and all of the mistakes that she made, it wasn't, I'm not going to excuse the things that she did or the things that she let happen, but most of the time offenders were victims at one point. Yeah. And so I just took a step back, and I was like, you know, you were probably not given the best cards. You were probably exposed to too much. You were probably given the wrong cards. And it's unfortunate that you didn't have the chance to heal before you became a mother, but that's just, it is what it is. And that's the way life happened. But you're a human, and it's your first time being a human and your only time being a human. And why am I going to hold on to this?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not helping me. It's hindering my growth.
Yeah.
And she just deserved to be set free from that, I think. And I think that was a huge like stepping stone in my faith of just being able to forgive, you know, the one person that's supposed to love you unconditionally, and they just ruin that, and you forgive them even though like there's so much hurt still. I don't know, that day just changed me completely as a Christian. So I hold the topic of forgiveness like very near and dear to my heart. It's saved me, it's healed me, and there's a lot that I have to say on it, but I won't keep talking.
No, keep talking. I like that. I was actually gonna ask you a question. Did you ever get like told before you got to that point of wanting to forgive, like were you ever told like, oh, just, you know, like you should forgive, and then you like, how did you feel when you were told to forgive her and like you weren't ready for that yet?
I mean, I told myself for years that I forgave her. Like I told everyone around me, I was like, yeah, like this is my story, this is what happened to me, but like I'm not mad at her. And I wasn't mad at her, but I was still holding on to it, and I was still like in the victim mindset of this horrible stuff happened to me, and that's just, it is what it is. Like I'm a broken person, I have a broken past, I'm just gonna live in this.
Okay.
So I think that, you know, forgiving her was a conscious decision to just clean myself and you know, move forward for myself, and it was just a part of my healing journey. I haven't been mad at her like for a long time. I haven't been mad at her.
It's still something though that was like
hurting
deep down. It was hurting you still, and as much as you wanted to be like, no, I'm fine, like I moved on from that, like it's fine, like it still was hurting you.
And I always wanted to come off, because you meet people who are so forgiving and just so strong and rooted in their faith, and they have like such a crazy testimony, and you're like, how did you come from all of that? And you're like so beautiful in where you stand today. And I always wanted that, so I was like, like I forgive her, but like, did I really, like, was I at the point of forgiveness to where I let it go? No, I was still thinking about it every day, and I was still claiming that as my identity of like, I was a victim of this and that. And the day that I decided to let it go, like I freed myself from that mentality and just from the baggage that I carried of, I didn't deserve that. And I was able to just, here I am, like creating a new life for myself and a new identity, and none of that, like I'm so separated from all of that. And God just knew that I needed to do that. Like he knew I needed that sermon. He put me in church that day for a reason.
You'll show up that day.
Because I do think that that's the one thing that would have held me back so much, is like never being able to get out of that, never being able to forgive her would have held me back as a Christian so much.
And I remember that too. I feel like you are that person now where you look like, people look at you, they're like, wow, like you've just come so far even in such a little time. Like I feel like, not like saying that your story isn't like long, but like when you think of other people's like stories or whatever, and it's like when you like chose to like chase after God, like it really wasn't that long ago. Like compared to like me, where it feels like it's just been like always like, oh yeah, a long time. But like it's so cool, and like such a huge like blessing, and like such a cool testimony to like watch how like God can change you like that. As long as you like you did stay committed and like really want it. And
I obeyed him, and he said forgive and let go and let God, and that's what I did, and he completely changed my heart. And I mean, we don't have contact right now, but it's just for more personal reasons of, you know, her not really respecting my boundaries of like, you know, we can't be all in a relationship. Like it's kind of a little far gone. You still
forgave her, and I think that's plenty. And I think at the end of the day, it's like, do what you need for your healing, and if you are good where you're at, like
What about you? Has there been circumstances in your life?
Many circumstances where I felt like I wasn't able to forgive, and I felt so stuck. But like specifically, I guess I mostly would think of like my parents in their divorce. I always like grew up wishing like, or wondering like, what could it have been like, because a lot of hardships and just like life got really hard after they divorced, and I was really young, so to be honest I don't remember exactly the first couple years, but I just know when I to the times I can remember, like it just got really hard. Like both my parents remarried and I got new step siblings, and like I had to go back and forth every other like few days. Like it just was a lot, and I always like I would look at my friends who have like really healthy families and I would be so jealous, and I would just be so sad. Or like then I would go from like if I'm with my dad about to go to my mom's, I'd be like crying because I'm like I'm gonna miss my mom, or I'm gonna miss my dad. Like it was a hard thing for me growing up. But I mean, obviously now like I look back and I'm like so grateful that it happened that way. And I think something that I like kind of have to remind myself and like how I was able to let go and actually forgive was like remembering that like everything God does is like for a purpose. And I also remind myself, like, to be honest, it probably would have been hard if they stayed together. Like it just would have been a different kind of hard. And so I think like obviously I was put in that, or I was in that situation for a reason, and I came out to be who I am today, and I am proud of who I am today. And I think like that's only because I was able to forgive and like move on from that. And I mean, it's not to say like sometimes I'm like, oh my, like that it, I don't want to say it like, oh, my family's broken, but like that is kind of the definition of a broken family, is like, you know, them separating. But it's just like, it's taught me so much though. Like I'm so grateful because I was really picky when it came to like finding a boyfriend. Like I was so picky that now I feel like I'm like, dang, first try I did good. Like, you know, with Corey, I'm like, I was so picky, and he happened to be like the guy who would, not only was he like amazing and basically perfect, but but he also like would do things. He like listened to me, and like I don't know, he's been a part of that healing journey too, because he's taught me how to forgive. And I've also, you know, had the blessing of like your guys' family and how like loving you guys are. And so it's like, yeah, okay, I didn't see my parents like together loving each other, but I saw like all these other families, and like I just got to see a bunch of different ways of living, and like a bunch of different ways of life. And I like now look back and I'm like, I'm thankful that you know, I got to see it that way. But I don't know, I think definitely it's been like a long time, but like it took a long time, but it's something that I just had to look and really pray to God about. I kind of had to like you said, let go and let God, and just be like, this is my circumstance. It literally couldn't change. Like that wasn't an option. And so like I have to deal with it. The only way I'm going to move forward is by learning from it and finding my truth in God and my worth in God. And like I can now look at like how I want my family to be in the future and change that for like my future children. And you know,
I think that the exposure too like just makes us more like better, well-rounded people. Like we can relate to people who have gone through the same things better. We can, you know, be there for people, and I think that it honestly just like gives us bigger hearts and more empathy for people.
I think I would just be not as understanding, I think, as a human. Like I would see people and I feel like I'd be a little bit more like, yes, I'm privileged as it is, but like I'd be more privileged, and I would just, you know, live this perfect life, like do, and then like reality would hit, and then it would be worse. So like for sure. I just think that one way of like how I got over it was just realizing like these are my cards that I was dealt, and like I have to be thankful for it, and just learn that I have to let go. And like it's not like they did that to me. It's not like anyone wants to get a divorce. Like like that's not it. So yeah,
that was good. Well, a few things that the Bible says about forgiveness that we wrote down. First of all, there's so many verses about forgiveness in the Bible. It's like one of the most, if not the most talked about subject. Just shows you how important it is to forgive. But the Bible teaches us that God's forgiveness is offered through Jesus, who died for the sins of humanity, allowing for redemption and forgiveness or freedom of our wrongdoings. And something that I really liked is that forgiveness is presented as like it's not an option. Like, it's not an emotion. It's not a feeling. Like, forgiveness is a hard lifestyle. Like, if you're choosing me and you're choosing to walk with the Lord, you are choosing to forgive others.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you think about it, it's like our whole basis of this faith that we're walking in is like how Jesus forgave us of our sins.
Exactly.
Why would we not have to forgive if we were forgiven in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, that just, it, to be honest, just doesn't make sense. But also, like, why we want to live a life more like Jesus. He's the most forgiving man there ever was. Like, when he's on the cross and he's like, forgive them for they do not know what they are doing. Like, that, I brought it up before, but it really makes me emotional because I'm like, this man is being beat to death.
Yeah.
This man is like, for these people who are just sinning left and right and hurting him. And he's just like, forgive them. Like, he's the most forgiving there ever was.
Well, I think we forget that, like, Jesus was literally a human. Yeah. And, like, the pain that he felt is pain that me or you could feel. You know, like, it's just crazy that
I'm like, dang. No, I'm just like, dang. Like, I'm over here like,
well, right,
and we're petty and like,
yeah, I'm over here like, okay, this person did a terrible thing, whatever. Like, why am I holding on to that? Like, one, life is too short. Two, sin for sin. Like, the only reason that we have unforgiveness towards someone is because of sin. They sinned. There's an ongoing sin, whatever. We feel turmoil in our hearts. We feel unforgiveness. We sin all the time. So what if God kept that same eye for eye? Like, hey, how you're treating that person is how I'm going to treat you. Yeah. It just we wouldn't like that very much.
Yeah. And it wouldn't change who we are. And like, yeah, I think it's so important to see it as like, I'm going to, like, okay, yes, I'm so hurt by this person, but at the end of the day, it's my choice. Like, forgiveness is a choice, and that's why it's so hard to do, because it's like you have to make that choice to forgive or you don't, and either way, like, that affects you and you only. Yep. Like, if you're able to get through that, that's because you were able to forgive and let go. If you're not able to get through it, it's because
you're probably harboring it.
Yeah, you couldn't let go. And of course, like, it takes time. Like, there's no timeline to forgiveness, and like, it's all about feeling those emotions, getting through it, and like having God guide you through that. But at the end of the day, it's like, do you really want to look back and be like, oh, I wish that I didn't hold on to that regret for 10 years, or like, I regret not having a relationship with this certain person because I, never forgave them for them hurting me that one time. Like, that kind of thing. Like, I've lost a lot of people in my life, so I know that, like, there are so many, like, things that if I didn't, like, forgive them in the end, like, I'd have nobody, you know what I mean? Right. And I think that's,
and
like,
vice versa.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I would have been dropped so many times if people weren't so gracefully forgiving to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think it's just so important. I wrote down Ephesians 4:32. Instead, be kind to each other, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. Which is kind of exactly what we were just saying, is like, it literally, in my brain at least, it just does not make sense for us to not be forgiving when God gave us Jesus to do that for us. And that just teaches us that unconditional love. And I think that's a part of it, is like, being forgiving is showing unconditional love. And of course, set your boundaries. And if people are just so willing to like break those boundaries, that's when you also have to forgive them and then move forward. Yeah. Like, forgiveness doesn't mean let it, go by and just deal with it forever. Yeah. It could just mean to be like, oh, like, I forgive you, but it's time for me to walk away,
this is no
or
longer
whatever.
Serving me. Exactly. You're no longer serving me, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I wrote down Acts 2:38. Repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins, and you will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. So to me, being baptized is just like an outward declaration of your internal commitment with the Lord, and just basically, as you were saying, like, fully accept me into your life, and you will experience the unconditional love and the unconditional forgiveness that I literally died for. And it's just simple as that. Like, it's like, hey, get in the water, choose me, and this is all of the beauty and the greatness you're going to have in your life.
Yeah, like wash away the hurt and the like holding on to all those things. Like just wash it away. And
and it's funny too, because I feel like people were like, oh, it's so hard to find answers in the Bible. Like the Bible is just so hard to read. But it's like, okay, well, right here, literally get baptized and you're going to be forgiven. Like how easy is that?
Right.
You know, it's just funny when like there's so many little things like that are just like, oh wow, like that's literally a question and a solution all in one sentence. And I just love that.
I know. I feel like some things are so like straightforward. There are obviously like metaphors, but when it comes to forgiveness, it literally is forgive them. Like it's so straightforward. And it's like, maybe I think something that you have to figure out, everyone's different too. So I feel like forgiving comes like in so many different ways and so many different paths. And I think like you have to learn yourself and talk to God and realize, okay, would God like, how would he want me to go about this? Like, would he want me to be kind and forgiving? Yeah. He's not going to want you to be like, I forgive you, but like deep down you're just holding it onto it forever. Like,
right. Kind of like what I was doing. Like, I forgive you, but no, I really had like this hurt and this hate in my heart still. Cause I think unforgiveness equals hatred, negativity, judgment. Yeah. There's so many things attached to the thing that is unforgiveness. Yeah. But I think it's just pretty cut and dry here. And a few things when we are unforgiving, according to Matthew 6:14-15, a person who doesn't forgive others will not be forgiven by God. How do you feel about that? Because that is pretty like in your face.
It is very in your face, but I like that. Yeah. Because I'm very much like, I wouldn't expect, like, treat others how you want to be treated. I would not expect God to forgive me if I'm over here not forgiving like his literal creation. Like, I'm trying to do better at like looking at people and seeing them as like God purposefully handcrafted you. Like you are a child of God, and I want to do better at like seeing that. And I think in order, like while I'm seeing that, it's given me more of the opportunity to be like, oh, I forgive you, because like you were saying earlier, like no one gets to choose the cards they were dealt, and like you never know what they were going through. But I don't know, I really kind of like that. It's the accountability. It's like if like I'll forgive you, but you do have to forgive others, and like that's how it is. But if you're not gonna go and just be kind or like forgive and like move on and hold on to it forever, like at that point, like what are you doing with your life? Like you're just gonna regret your entire life, the life that I purposefully planned and like brought. You know, I don't know. That's how I see it. What do you?
And also just branching off what you were saying is God didn't just die for me. Like God died for that person too. Yeah. And as much as they are like, what they did was awful and hurt me so bad, and like, how could you do that? Whatever. God still died for them. Jesus still died for them, you know? Yeah. It's his creation, just like I'm his creation. Yeah. So it's just we just have to remember that we're equal.
Yeah. I think that's hard too. I feel like in today's day and age, it's like very much like, oh, if you're rich, you have a higher status, or if you're, you know, like, I just feel like there's so many, like, you know, if you're in like high leadership or whatever, I just feel like everyone sees each other on different levels, where it's literally not like that. Like
everyone is, we're all equal. Exactly. Like all of the statuses and titles, they all will dissipate, and what's left is our hearts and our souls, and
whether or not we forgave.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But period.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. I've lived with regret, or lived with forgiveness. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No word. I've lived with not being able to forgive for so long. And I felt like, okay, I'm doing all the right things. Like what's like why I'm praying, like, oh, I wish them the best. But deep down, like I didn't, like it just wouldn't leave. And I think once I finally gave that up, I was like set free. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things that, like I said, takes time, and it's whatever timeline works for you. But at the same time, it's like figure out the steps to get there then, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. I also think, well, we wrote down unforgiveness leads to emotional distress, turmoil in our hearts, damaged relationships, and even physical health issues. And along with that, it increases anxiety and just overall like makes you unhappy. I feel like when you're living your life, even if you're saying like you forgive them or whatever, like like we've been saying this whole time, I guess, like you are just gonna live in regret. I think that's like a big thing. And I also think like you are not living your life like what would Jesus do, like, you know what I mean? And I think it's so much better for your overall health too, to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna take what they said or take what they did, learn from that. Because I feel like there's two different types of people. There's either people who see things that, you know, they don't like and they hate how they're treated or whatever, and they then recreate that pattern. Or there's people who see that and they're working hard to not have that. And I think to get to that side of like not wanting that is being forgiving of everything that's ever happened to you. Yeah. And like, I don't know, sometimes I almost feel the opposite of like, why do I even deserve to be forgiven? Because I have felt, I've been petty so many times, like literally yesterday. Like I know that, oh, we're not going to talk about that. No, I'm just kidding. No, just like sometimes like even like driving, I'll be petty and I'll be like, someone will cut me off or something. And then I'll be like, should I also cut them off? Should I go speed around them and then go? Like, I think like that. And it's like, I don't want to think like that. And I'm going to try to do better. But like, it's just so easy to be petty and choose the other route. And so it's like, I just need to remember and like literally pause, breathe, like I don't know. It's how I feel.
WWJD.
No, literally. I have to remind myself that so much. But yeah.
I think forgiveness is one of the most important things. I think I already said this, if I'm being honest. I'm having deja vu. But I feel like, you know, forgiveness is the key. It's the key to living a beautiful Christian walk with God. Yeah. Is to just, forgiveness equals light, and it equals happy, and it equals
freedom
and just like love. Yeah. All of the good things.
Agree.
How to forgive like Jesus. Practice compassion. Release resentment. Realize that we are being unforgiving of someone's sins while we're equally as sinful in the eyes of God, which we just said. How am I going to judge you for your sin when I'm over here? It's all the same. It's literally all the same. And there's a difference. You can hold somebody accountable, you know, for their sin without holding them at a standard of like, oh, well, now like we have beef. Like, now we have an issue and like I'm gonna not forgive you because you crossed a line or whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think I try to look at it in the perspective of like everyone's wrongdoings is like a them thing. Yeah. So like hopefully this is making sense. I'm like trying to figure out how to say it.
I feel like it's like in my brain is like working at a way different pace than my mouth today. I'm like, wait, what? The two are not connecting.
I know, me too. No, but I try to see it as like when I say, I'm like, wow, someone said something so rude to me. And I'm like, that's their character. Yeah. And that's not me. That doesn't define my worth. That doesn't define anything about me. But how I choose to react and how I choose to go about it, that I do have control over. Yeah. And what I can do is, you know, hold my friend accountable by standing up for myself. Yeah. And I can be like, hey, I really didn't like how, you know, whatever, how you made me feel XYZ. And then it's like, how they choose to then go about that situation, it's like, okay, either you have beef or you don't, yay, happy friends again. But at the end of the day, no matter what, you have to forgive them. Yeah. Even if they choose to have beef with you. Yeah. Just be like, I'm going to, like, it's so hard to like be the bigger person, but do it. Yeah. Because every time, if you truly are the bigger person and walk away from it and forgive, it doesn't hold you back from anything. And it allows more goodness to come into your life instead of like closing that off because you're not able to like see anyone else in like a better light. I don't know.
I think unforgiveness is, I think I mentioned this before in a different context, but unforgiveness is like drinking poison but expecting the other person to die. Yeah. Because it's, what is it doing for you?
Yeah, name one thing in the comments below.
Give me one example of unforgiveness benefiting you.
We're like forgiveness.
Words are hard.
We literally are struggling so hard.
We got this.
It's okay. Go team.
And just actively choose forgiveness. It's not an it's an act, not an emotion. Like, it's literally an action. Like, I'm going to choose to forgive you today.
Yes.
I'm not going to feel forgiving. I'm going to be forgiving.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
To give you this gift that I was given instead of just like feeling, because feelings are deceiving. Our heart is deceiving. It's the biggest deception in all of the land.
Yeah,
is our own emotions and our hearts. What is true is our actions, and giving someone forgiveness and waking up every day and intentionally like, here you go.
Yeah.
This is my gift to you.
And just reminded me of like the whole, you could be the only Bible someone ever reads. Yeah. And that just reminds me of like, even if this is with someone who isn't Christian and who doesn't, believe in sinning or whatever it is, meet them and show them like God, what Jesus did for you by being that loving person, no matter how bad they treat you.
Yeah.
Like, that is the biggest way to like have them be like, wait, why are you so nice? Like,
well,
wait,
it's planting seeds.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like the list of benefits of forgiving someone, like I swear it just gets longer and longer. Like, but the benefits to being unforgiving, like we just said, like, name one.
Yeah.
It just holds you back.
Yeah, and it's just not good.
Period.
Just like my vocabulary today. No,
it's oh my gosh.
I just wrote one more thing. The Bible says the Lord is close to and heals the brokenhearted. So whatever hurt is causing us to hold on to resentment, we're called to release. God will help us heal from the wounds caused by the actions of others and move forward in love. And yeah, that just pretty much summarizes, the reason we feel resentment towards somebody may be because we're hurt. But if you bring all of these things to the Lord, just like he says, bring me your anxiety, bring me your depression, bring me the baggage that you're feeling from, someone else's actions, like bring it all to me and let me show you how to handle this in a better light and in a way that you won't regret, and just make you a better person and a better Christian. And since I've like started to do that myself and like really come to the Lord for answers, I have done so much growth, and I'm like still so far from like having it all figured out, but I've come a long way. And overall, I'm just happier. I'm just happier with myself. I'm happier with who I'm becoming somebody that I'm proud of because I'm taking these actions of following God and giving him everything that he's asking for. Yeah. And since when do we not listen to our Father? Like, we are told from the day we're born, like, listen to your father. Like, these are your father's instructions. And I'm just taking that so serious now in my early 20s.
You're a teenager. What are you talking about?
I'm literally just a teenage girl. I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, I love that. I think, that kind of just sums it up. I feel like forgiveness, it's like such a hard thing to do, but like so plain and simple. Yeah. It's like, I mean, okay, maybe not plain and simple, but like, hopefully you got what I'm putting down.
Well, no, it's like it's pretty cut and dry. Like, forgive, let it go. Why? It's literally like, take a step back and realize what you're holding on to is so silly, probably. Like, let's move on.
Yeah, and even then, it's like, even if it's not silly, it's like, respect yourself enough to let yourself not live in distress all the time and being upset. Like, love yourself enough to also walk away or to be confrontational, even though I know that's really hard. Like, it's so hard, but it's so rewarding. Like, and like I said, it's all a different timeline for everyone and every situation. Like, sometimes, when you do, you're asking God for answers. Like, I've kind of been dealing with this week. Like, I'm praying to God and I'm like, I'm doing everything right. Like, where are you? Like, what? But it is rewarding in the end. And that's what I know. And that's, that's always been proven. My entire life has proven that fact. And I think God has always been there and always shown up, even if I don't feel it. And same with being forgiven. Like, you will be forgiven and you will be forgiving if you just like let it, like if you let it happen, even if you want to hold on to it.
I think it really just like sinks into my heart when I just think about it, of like, I have a lot of shame from my past, and there's a lot that I've done that I'm not proud of. And so just being able to accept God's goodness and his forgiveness, like, I am so undeserving of that. So just like knowing that he gave me that and he always will give me that just makes me want, you know, what you were saying last week was, in your eyes, God is this perfect being. Like everything he is and does is perfect. And that's what you want to be. You want to show perfection because you want to display your God well. I want to forgive the way that God has forgiven me and freed me from my shame and my sins and my brokenness. And
but think about that also as a testament to your character. Like the fact that you even want to do that. The fact that you have that desire shows the effort also shows so much. Yes, you might not, we aren't perfect. You might not be able to always be able to forgive or always be able to be this perfect person. But just the fact that you want to, and the fact that you want to chase Jesus and you want to do him right and be like, this is my God and I'm going to be like him, shows exactly how much it shows your character, shows who you are, and shows your heart.
And just to love his people well. You know, this world is so cruel. And if we could be the only people that show them a little bit of kindness, you know.
Well, I think it's also like in today's day and age, like it's so don't forgive them, like it's so
forgive and don't forget or something like that. But it's like, what
the world needs is forgiveness. Just forgive each other. We're, like you said, we all are like this, we're all living this life once.
I hold grudges. Okay, why? What good is that doing for you?
I'm sorry that you're holding grudges.
Like, I'll pray for you.
No,
that's not a flex.
No, like, I'm sorry. Like, you hold a lot of hurt in your heart.
Yeah.
Like, your heart is heavy.
Equals pain.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I think this world needs a lot of forgiveness. And I think as hard as it is to do, it's so needed. And like, I think people need to try harder at it. In the nicest way?
Included.
Oh, us included. Oh my gosh. Sorry to that driver yesterday.
Oh my gosh, my road rage lately. It's funny that you talk about that, but I've been so mean in the car lately.
Really?
And like Kaysen's been picking up on it.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, oh.
He's like, what the heck, man?
No.
Just kidding.
That's a little nicer of what he says, but okay.
No, I know. I feel like I need to do better at forgiving in the sense that, like yesterday, I was bringing up old stuff that happened in high school.
To Corey?
Yeah. And I just, no, not like something he did. I was like some friends I used to have. And it's like, why, like bringing up all this stuff, like is only hurting me. And now it's like on my head again. And I'm like, I was free from this.
Yeah.
But I wasn't, because I brought it up again. And I choose to be petty over it, and I need to remind myself that's the choice I'm making. But so I need to change that choice.
And this is also such like a corny exercise, but something that I think has helped me a lot in life is just to like write out everything that hurts me, and literally like write it on a dish, break that dish, write it on paper, light that paper on fire, like physically watch yourself let it go. That and helps, it will feel like a release in your heart. And therapy is really good too.
Oh, therapy is great.
Therapy, Jesus, and breaking dishes.
Throwing stuff. You know what I really want to do? Sorry.
Like
I want to go to a rage room.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, wait. But then we'll
do that for your birthday.
Jesus wouldn't do this. I would be like gently setting the plate down. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll just write like prayers and stuff.
Yeah. Like, you know what we should do? We should write prayers and stuff on balloons and then like send them up. Is that bad for the environment?
Yeah, but what is two girls? Okay, we're gonna talk off camera.
Anyways, we've been talking a lot, but
this was fun.
I think we just didn't want to end the episode.
Well, I feel like this was good for me too, because I just love like the topic of forgiveness, because
I've needed it.
It's just everything to me. It's everything that I've ever wanted and everything that I've ever wanted to give. So. Yeah,
no, same here. And I think I really needed this conversation, to be honest.
And we don't want to turn the camera off.
I know,
because we love you guys.
We love you so much, and just thank you for all the support, because I feel like I was not expecting that. We hit 100 followers.
I know,
and now,
so fun.
Maybe we'll post on here some just as like Christian content. I think that would be super fun. But
we hope you guys enjoyed the season. If you have any like recommendations or prayer requests or anything, literally anything, like just engage with us. Like our DMs are open. We're friends now. This is like a thing.
Like same time next week.
Oh,
just kidding.
Awkward.
Anyways, we love you so much, truly. So thank you for being here. We love you, and bye.